Hello, everyone. My name is Arien Gabriella, and welcome to the Elemental Weather Report for the rest of May 2026. Thank you for your patience and waiting for this elemental weather report to come out. But the energies of April and May and its transformational breakthroughs have really blessed my life in a new way. If you've been following me, you know that I have been struggling with homelessness off and on for a couple of years, as well as financial instability. And as of May, that has officially ended. I have moved into a beautiful new apartment, and now I'm just falling in love with my home, decorating, and really getting out of fight or flight mode. And just like me, many of you have likely experienced your own version of change or transformation through April and May, because May is a month of tangible, positive change. This is the month where what we've been working towards is finally manifesting in our reality. And it's just the start of all the new beginnings and transformational changes that are on the horizon from 2026 and beyond. But it's not all roses. There are some challenges as well. So we'll have some very, very bright days this month and some very, very dark nights. So let's learn about the air element, which is the dominant element that is pushing forward all of this change right now. Air is a masculine element that works with the throat chakra and the voice. The air element encourages us to be our authentic selves, to speak up, assert boundaries, and practice self love by saying no. The air element is a masculine element, and it's one of the best elements for this time to work with because it's transformational, it's formless, and the winds of change always seem to be blowing when it comes to the air element. It's always looking for the new and juggling many different tasks at once. Air was actually the dominant element last month in April, but it's coming in even stronger in May, if that's even possible, which means that as the month continues, we can expect even more transformation, more change, and a completely new landscape forming in our lives. It could be a complete restructuring of the people, the jobs, the homes, the environment, and the energies, but it's a very physical, tangible, outer world change. For so long, we've been working internally on changing ourselves, on modifying our vibrations, where our outer reality may have stayed very much the same, or we may have been struggling with the same issues over and over. But as of May, we're finally starting to see the outer manifestations of all we've been working on inside. So if you've been doing the work, you'll see things slowly get more peaceful in at least one area or more of your life, and you'd be able to relax and more happiness and more joy in those areas. May is a season of bright new beginnings, but what makes May so different is that all those bright new beginnings are actually here with us in the moment. It's so easy for a lot of people like me, spiritual thought leaders, psychics on the internet to just kind of dangle a carrot of the future in front of you and say, like, oh, new beginnings just around the corner. Your next 24 hours. It's always like just around the bend is all the happiness you're looking for while you are staying stuck in the misery of your present reality. In May though, it's not like that. Your happiness and your joy is here with you right now and is accessible for the taking. It's not 24 hours, it's not 2 weeks, it's right here, right now, in this moment. So, will you claim it? Will you make it yours? And that's not to say just because there are so many bright, positive new changes in the physical this month that it's not going to come with challenge or turmoil, right? We live on planet Earth. The happy fairy tale ending isn't really a thing on Earth. You have happy moments, you have happiness that you cultivate within. But as far as your day to day, you're always going to have challenges, you're always going to have ups and downs. That's normal. But it's the way that you deal with it internally that determines your fairy tale ending or your happily ever after. So even though there are still areas of your life that may feel like a complete dumpster fire. Don't let that get in the way of you being able to appreciate and enjoy all the beauty and the new that's here in other areas of your life. Take it all in stride and trust that these change energies, as overwhelming and as fast as they have come, are honestly just the beginning. And you may look back and kind of have nostalgia even for some of the areas of your life that have fallen apart once those change as well. So bless everything that's going on right now, good, bad, or ugly. But the air element is an element that juggles change very well. So call on the air element if you're feeling overwhelmed by all the changes that are around you. If you're feeling like you just can't do any more new things, call on the air elements. It will ground you, it'll help keep you open, it will help release the fear of stepping into the life that you deserve, of stepping into your success and your joy. It's really there as a supportive element to help bring out the best in these new beginnings and these new landscapes. It's bringing you change and it's bringing you freedom, the freedom that your soul wants. So find ways to embrace and honor it even as you say goodbye to the old and even grieve the old. So, how are all these new changes physically showing up in your lives? You talked about it a little bit, but let's dive a little bit deeper. The air element is bringing the winds of change and literally carrying us like a sailboat into totally new horizons and landscapes. These can be literal moves like me moving to a new home, moving to a new country, moving to a new environment, changing your friends groups, changing your jobs. But overall, you'll be able to tell that the air element is at play because there'll be completely new energies around you. It should be happier, less toxic, and a healthier exchange. In my life, looks like getting out of a struggle of homelessness and being surrounded by other people who are bound together collectively by their hardship, their struggle, their pain, and their rock bottom era, to being surrounded by people who actually like where they live, who are proud of where they live, who are interested in making it beautiful and keeping it beautiful, and are interested in building a happy community. Those are completely different energies. And that sea change can be something that you are experiencing or may experience very soon. And this air element that's coming in is not only changing the outer reality, it's helping us discover new aspects of our inner realities that can support this new change. You may find yourself discovering a new hobby. For me, it's decorating. I'm not an interior designer, I've never enjoyed decorating, but I have had a blast buying things for my home, decorating my space, planning it, making it beautiful. That's an aspect of myself I never knew existed, but it's an aspect of myself that's been birthed through this beautiful change. And just like me, you may be finding that you might want to change your wardrobe, you want to cut your hair, you want to learn a new skill, learn carpentry, music, something new, some aspect of yourself that is now being birthed by these new landscapes and these new energies. So flow into that and trust that because that is your creativity at play. That is the way that you learn about yourself and learn about all the different facets that make you you. And this new aspect of yourself that's being birthed, maybe it's the artist within you, the creative, the interior designer, the cook, is helping to bring and ground in and support the energies of peace and of tranquil, permanent change through your actions and your exploration of these new ventures. So let yourself be different, let yourself be free, let yourself explore that new aspect of yourself. On the collective level, it maybe isn't so fuzzy and fun. It can be a lot harder hitting and probably is. It'll look like more people speaking out and speaking up because the air element is the energy of the voice. So using your voice to say no, you're not going to implement that policy on my watch. You're not going to hurt that person or etc. So people speaking out, people getting sued, files being released, right? I mean, we already know there's some Epstein files out. There may be other files or new files unlocked. So that's not surprising. Child abuse came very largely as a collective theme for this month, especially through the end of May into June and July. So you'll hear about all the things. I'm not gonna I might get banned if I say them out loud, but all the things relating to children and harming children, as well as some natural disasters, especially flooding, right? So all of these, they sound negative, but it's really about us purging and letting go of the old and allowing these new horizons where we're able to speak up against authority, where we don't allow abuses to just kind of run rampant for decades and ruin lives. That is actually a new positive landscape that the collective is moving through. And even though it may look not so great on the surface, it's really a positive change. And when it comes to any natural disasters, that is cleansing by the earth. You know, the earth has her own cleansing cycles that she goes through. And I hope that everyone's homes are fine, but that is just, the earth cleansing herself. It's nothing to be terribly afraid of, at least not for this collective watching. So if you're feeling encouraged and inspired, or you find this message insightful, you can support my channel by liking, sharing, and subscribing to my work. And if you want to go deeper into elemental magic, learn about magic and witchcraft, and just join a beautiful soul family, I have Patreon content as well that supports that, as well as personal sessions. So feel free to take a look at that. May is unique in that we actually have two dominant elements instead of one primary and one secondary element. So let's talk a little bit about the other dominant element for this month, which is ether. The ether element is a catch all term for the energies of the unseen and the energies of spirit. The ether element governs anything not of this earth, the extraterrestrial realms, the spiritual realms, the astral realms, the psychic body, and all the psychic energies that surround us, as well as all of our subtle energy bodies. So it's a lot. This is the energy that encourages divine connection, oneness, enlightenment, and awareness of ourselves as ambassadors of an intelligence larger than anything we could possibly imagine. And May, the ether element, is, as always, a subtle but extremely powerful and potent force. And for May, it's critical because it's ushering in positive energies and positive change by creating psychic separation between low and high vibrational frequencies. These strong energetic boundaries allow those of us who are vibrating higher and in a healthier, more positive state to finally have some space from the constant, incessant onslaught of negative and toxic energies that are trying to pull us down. And this allows space for us to experience and to spend more time with positive and healthier energies and to attract more of that into our lives because that's what we're engaging and experiencing. Because a lot of the struggle, the intensity, the misery and challenge of the first few months of this year, and really last year and the year before, has been the result of lower, I'm just going to say lower bottom feeding energies having way too much access to energies and frequencies that really want nothing to do with them. And it's the lack of boundaries collectively and individually that makes it easier for those negative energies to have a foothold. But the ether element is, through no conscious awareness of our own, targeting and separating those energies with a surgical precision. And slowly, those timelines between the higher, the positive energies and the lower vibrating energies are finally starting to diverge so that they just don't touch each other very often, or at least not in the same way. And if there is some overlap still, the psychic boundary is to make it harder for the negativity that these energies are throwing to gain a strong foothold into the auric fields of higher vibrating energies, which means that and they recover faster and reset into positivity more quickly than they ever have before. And it's not because these energies are not trying to cause problem. If anything, they are actually ramping up their efforts. They are incessant and obsessive in their pursuit of generating negativity and toxicity. It's just that the ether element is coming in and just cutting off their ability to do maximum damage. So the damage that they are inflicting, even if you're still struggling right now with toxicity, is a tenth or even 1/100th of what it could be if the ether element was not actively going in and just kind of cutting these cords bit by bit by bit. I know in my life, this has resulted in me being able to do a complete break from some of the toxic energies that I was struggling with while I was dealing with homelessness, and even in areas of my life that still feel very chaotic and crazy. I find it easier to be able to step back and disengage than I ever have before. And that's the ether element at work. So you may be experiencing that in your life as well. Just letting the drama just stay wherever it stays on your phone, in your home, at work, and just going somewhere else and just having a blast. Like that is the ability to forget. And even for a moment, and to reset in positivity and happiness, that is the ether element. And that's the energy that's working for you this month. We've talked about how the air element is working for us. We've talked about how the ether element is working for us. Let's talk about how these energies are working together as a team to benefit us this month. On both the collective and individual level, the ether and air combination is giving us the opportunity to take a firm, energetic, and vocal stand against negative and toxic energies or any systems that we find overwhelming, emotionally taxing, or draining. The air element encourages to use our voice, speak up, and say no and assert boundaries. And the ether element is coming in and reinforcing the power of our voice, of our intentions, of our thoughts, which is a form of sound as well. And working with us as our own personal magician to help us understand how to make the energetic changes within us necessary to create these permanent breaks. So, as we continue to say no, to think no, to speak up, and walk towards what we want and away from what we don't want, the ether element is literally just dissolving the ground around us and beneath our feet. So as we walk away using the air element by creating that distance, by creating that boundary, the ether element will come and solidify that wall. So it's really just, I don't want to, it's not like we've caged ourselves in, but it's more like the ground beneath our feet just dissolves. I don't know if you've seen that movie, The Langoliers. I don't know why that's coming to my mind. Is it The Langoliers? It's that Stephen King movie where those people get stuck in like in purgatory or something like that, and they have to find their way back to their lives while these monsters are trying to eat up the reality that they're inhabiting. It's a lot like that. It's like we are moving back to life, to what it means to be alive in its happiest and most abundant sense. And for a long time, we've just kind of maybe felt like we're in purgatory, fighting these monsters that are coming and trying to eat us alive and destroy us and kind of see us hurt. And we're just kind of getting in our airplane, and I'm spoiling the end of the movie. We're kind of just getting in our airplane and flying away as and leaving these energies to devour themselves and to destroy whatever is left behind as the air element and the ether element carry us into our new horizon of positivity and peace and into life, real life, the fullest of what it can be. Because I don't think a lot of people really understand that life is meant to be happy and joyous for the most part. Again, ups and downs, but should be more good than bad. And if there isn't, there's something really wrong. And I think that there's been something wrong personally and collectively in my life and a lot of people's lives for a very long time. And May is the beginning of our ability to actually just fly away and just say, I'm going to leave this energy here. You can stay if you want, but I am out of here. And the air element and the ether element are working together to carry us away and then create that permanent break so that these energies can never get to us again in the same way. So it's a beautiful month. It's a cataclysmic month of change. And I feel like change is an understatement for what I'm trying to say. It's a complete, a fundamental, permanent reorganization and reshuffling of energies that allows like frequencies to merge together and clump together more easily than they have before. So there's not as much mismatch. And because there's not as much mismatch, there's more harmony, at least for those of us who are interested in harmony. For those who are interested in chaos, they're magnetizing to other people who like chaos and they can be chaotic together. But, it's going to be a lot harder for people to destroy peace if they don't even have access to your bubble of peace in any way, shape, or form. So that's the energy that May is bringing in, a total break. It's really that splitting of the world. I know we've been talking about it for decades. They talk about the splitting of the world. Da, da, da. I don't talk about it too much in my channel because I just feel like it's overrated and yeah, overrated, overexposed, just overdone. But May is really a splitting of the world's month. So enjoy it. Enjoy and at the beginnings of this change, right? It's not complete by any means, but we have hit a milestone. So enjoy that. Live it, love it, live, love, and laugh. And rest because it's a lot. It's a lot going through these changes, and there is more to come. We have just begun. Check out my Patreon, check out my private sessions if you would like to go deeper, if you would like help exploring the elemental magic within yourself, if you still feel stuck, like you're having trouble accessing these new positive energies and need a release, my Patreon and my private sessions can be absolutely what you need. But I love you so much and have a great rest of your month.